You know what it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
You know who it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Odie, Mari, sorry, Mari.
Sorry, sorry, Mari, sorry.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
A-O.
Yes, no.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. It's the Black and Sturdy Podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Oh. Air horn, air horn, air horn, air horn. Plenty of air horn to go around. The audio listeners cannot hear it. Oh, here we go.
Okay. So,
Yes.
before we start,
Yes.
spoilers ahead. Spoilers.
Warning.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
So you can don't say we didn't tell you. I put it in the description. You already know there are spoilers ahead.
Folks, where's the lie?
And this episode, we are deviating from our regularly scheduled programming because usually we've been watching Kaleidoscope.
Yes, we're so close to being done.
We're
with
so
it.
close to being done. And so now, instead of watching Kaleidoscope, instead of discussing this Kaleidoscope today, we are going to discuss Ant-Man Quantumania.
Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania,
No, you're right.
or is it Ant-Man?
Ant-Man and the Wasp
Quantumania, a.k.a. Ant-Man 3.
Yes. And full disclosure, I have not watched Ant-Man 2. And
Wait, you never... I thought you said you haven't seen it in a while.
No, I just have not seen it.
Really?
Because remember I told you, as much as I enjoy Ant-Man, because I like Paul Rudd a lot, the ants in Ant-Man, there's too many. The first one completely skeeved me out. It was very difficult to stay in the theater.
But, okay.
And
Does it help to know that they're CGI ants?
I don't care
They're just
if
CGI.
they're claymation ants.
It's not like the I was about to say My Little Pony. Honey, We
Little
Shrunk the
Pony.
Kids ant that was like practical
that
effects.
was a scary ant.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, I think I have told you this before. I have a thing with swarms. Even with swarms of people, I don't like it.
All right.
So anytime something's swarming, it skews me out. I'm cringing. I don't like it.
Yeah. Is it like the notion that like if you were in that situation, there is no escape? Because it's not like you can outrun the swarm.
I don't even think about it that way. It just looks gross. Like it just like the act of even people. Even if you were to do a bird,
Knock
Cookie,
it off.
Come over here, Cookie. Come on.
Sorry about that.
Come here.
I have a dog in this apartment, and they are rubbing their faces on my couch. Like,
Cookie, that's not what you're supposed to do. Say hi to the people. Cookie, did you like Ant-Man? You didn't get to go see it. But
yeah, I was about to say, like,
she could have.
she was not there.
She was with us in spirit.
No, she was not with me. That is not how I use my spirit. That's not how I use spirits at all.
The whole time.
I'm not. I'm thinking that she's gonna take a shit in my carpet, or on my carpet, or in it. I don't
Around
know.
it. Move, as long as we
Marking her
we
territory.
didn't come back to pee or poop, so that means Cookie's a good girl.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Cookie,
All right,
you gotta
that's
do
enough of this. All right. So, long story short, this is a spoiler warning for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We went to see that tonight, and
We have thoughts.
yeah, we have thoughts.
So,
okay,
well, my first.
where do you want to start?
I would like to go chronological, but I don't know if that's gonna the way my brain works. I don't know if that's gonna happen. The first thing on top of mind, it's Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
To Jonathan fucking Major.
Yes, Jonathan Major.
To Jonathan fucking, and you know what the thing is? I don't know if you've all
He's
seen,
a major hunk.
He is. He's a whole snack, a whole meal.
He's a 5-course meal.
Like you couldn't get enough of him.
He's second
And-
breakfast.
He is, and second breakfast. He's second lunch. He's second dinner. He's all of them.
Looking like a snack.
And people were for whatever reason, there have been people in the black community clowning him, saying that he has a civil rights face.
He does have a civil rights face.
No, but this is the thing.
That's only. I feel like that's only because we just got finished watching him in what was that movie? The Black Odyssey. No.
You mean Lovecraft?
Lovecraft. Yeah, Lovecraft Country.
Here's the thing.
County. Country or county?
County. Lovecraft County, I think.
Yeah.
He has the face of a Mandingo warrior. He has the face of, yes, a civil rights freedom fighter. Mm-hmm. He has the face of a the leader of a enslaved people's rebellion. Mm-hmm. He has the face that I would want to wake up to, and I know that, like, this person's about to go out and work 15 hours.
Show up, show out.
With newspaper in their shoe, and come back home, give you your whole check, give you their whole check,
yes,
and be like, here you go, take care of the stuff, and hold something for yourself after. You know?
He's the kind of man who, he has the face that says, like, yeah, there's a possibility that I have a second family somewhere.
No, he does not. His face is honest and true. We're not going to shame him.
Hey, I didn't say there's a lot of honest and true men. Shout out to...
No, you cannot be honest and
family.
True if you also have a second family. That is literally...
I don't know.
The thing, if you could not be honest about your second family, then how could you be true? Because you're lying. You're lying to somebody. Ooh.
God damn it. What the fuck?
It's fine.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's
literally,
not.
It's such a small thing.
It is.
We're having a little audio difficulties, but it's fine.
No, it's not.
It's okay.
Anyhow, Jonathan Majors has a
First of all, he has beautiful bone structure.
Yes, he does.
Of a West African king. He is dark chocolate. He's built like no get out.
He's a built brick house motherfucker.
You know, he's a hottie with a body. So I'm like, I love the Jackson 5 nostrils, as Beyonce said. So all y'all people trying to clown
Jackson
him
5 nostrils
about how he looks, like, y'all need to... I feel like maybe you're in the Quantumania. Maybe you're in the quantum space. And you left your brain cells there.
Quantum realm.
Whatever it is. That's where y'all left
We just spent 2 hours hearing that, thrown around, left and right. Quantum realm.
Either way, we fucking. Because it's Jonathan Majors. I just want to say it's Happy Black History Month to him.
Yes.
And I'm very glad that he's in the Marvel space. Mm-hmm. Because I think he plays an amazing villain. And I want to say also that Marvel keeps making villains that I want to root for. Mm-hmm. So it's so
far it's
Namor,
Killmonger,
and Kang. Now I will say the white ones or the
why do you want to? All right, is it just because it's Jonathan Major, or what is the reason why you want to root for Kang? Because Killmonger's ideology, though flawed it may be, and Namor's ideology, though, like how it very much mirrors that of
majority of us. A lot, or not a majority, but a good portion.
But
of
what about Kang? So
I feel like one, he was just so fucking slick and petty. When at one point, what was it when they were fighting towards like the middle of the movie, and he was just like, well, I guess that person's about to die. Like, he looks at Michelle Pfeiffer, he's like, oh, and, like, they're going to die. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, I remember. The line was, the Michelle Pfeiffer's like, you're going to kill trillions of, you're going to kill trillions of people. And he said something along the lines of, I wish I cared.
Yeah, I was like,
I really wish I cared.
I feel like perhaps him being compared to Namor and Killmonger, he was opposite white people, which is it's already making it hard to root for them because it was very much I will say this movie felt very much like I'm a white savior. And I want to help. I have white guilt and wealth guilt. So I'm going to try to push myself onto these people and help them regardless. And
it definitely screamed, I'm going to do some missionary work or houses for Haiti.
For humanity.
Yeah, houses for, I don't know why I thought it was Haiti.
They did
houses for humanity work, but like really I'm just going to be there being more of a nuisance than
causing more issues.
Maybe a hindrance even.
You know, like
flicking it up, taking pics so that I could post it on my wall and say, "Hey, this is what I did."
Poor alien babies.
Having them sign off on my paperwork to show that I actually did complete my internship.
I feel like that was the energy they were all giving me. So I feel like
easiest internship. Now that I think about it, I didn't do shit.
I did stuff. My internships were.
I had 2 internships. One was for a web series, which I actually did and worked on, and the other one was the rental equipment space.
Yeah, and you could find that. You could find the show you worked on, the web series, online, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
What is it called?
It's called Orange Juice. Shit. What is it called? Orange Juice.
Look for Maurice Licorish on IMDb so you can find.
I was just a grip. I don't even know if I'm on IMDb.
Well, listen, if Marvel could have 1,000 people listed on their credits,
they really did have a lot of credits.
It was just like, how many more lines of people are we gonna read before we get to the end?
So you enjoy Kang's pettiness?
I enjoy his pettiness. I enjoy just his whole demeanor, his whole swag. I think that, like, all of that about him, compared to some of the others, I mean, like, Thanos was, I feel like, he was funny and snarky and, like, swaggy a bit. And like, outside of that, like, most of the villains they've had were not human. They were, like,
one-dimensional.
Yeah, so it was very easy to be like, no, I don't want this weird robot alien to win. But with this, I was like, nah.
Which is surprising because you know that was James Spader.
He was who?
He was Ultron.
He was. Oh, shout out to James Spader in the Blacklist.
Yes.
But okay, no, that makes sense because he does have the voice.
Yes.
Okay, now that my takeaway was that I actually really enjoyed Kang, but and he did tell them that he was trying to help them out. Mm-hmm. So they just weren't listening to a black man yet again.
I enjoyed Kang too. I think, like, okay, we've already seen him in as the One Who Remains in the Loki miniseries.
Yes.
And he's probably gonna, there's a little bit of a sneak peek of a trailer at the end where you see him and it's Loki, so he's gonna be in season 2.
Oh, I found the name of the web series.
What was it?
It's Orange Juice in Bishop's Garden.
That's what it was called.
So go look at that up so that you could see Maurice's handiwork.
Terrible. So terrible. Yeah. So we already saw Kang, and I think if done right, he could be like a really big Thanos level villain. Yeah. Like, as in, you know, all the Avengers from across the multiverse have to come. I have a theory that they're gonna, like, bring back those two who said that they're not coming back anymore. Iron Man and
what's her name? Scarlett Johansson?
No.
She said she wasn't coming back, or was it just
she's dead.
But no, she's supposed to be coming. Listen.
How she come back?
If they could bring back Gamora, they could bring back her.
Well, yes, you're absolutely right, but
she also did say that she wasn't trying to come back.
Different. Yeah. I don't know if they want her back.
I don't know if they want her back either. But shit, it's for ratings. If it's for ratings, if people are gonna come for Black Widow, even though like I still have not finished the Black Widow. She had a series, right?
No, she had a movie.
It was only a movie, and I still didn't watch it.
I fell asleep in the movie.
I still didn't watch
I didn't go see it in the theater. I just like my dad had Disney Plus and it just came out and I was like, oh, let's watch it, and I just fell asleep.
I mean, that's the type of character.
Anyhow, no, my theory is that they're gonna bring back. I wanted to call him Tommy David Jr. No,
Terrence Howard.
No.
Don Cheadle.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, Terrence Howard he was the original
Iron Man.
Not
Iron Man. Wow, we're nerds. We're supposed to be fucking Snerds, and we're blanking on all this stuff.
I forget shit all the time.
He was Don Cheadle's character.
Yes, I'm gonna look Don Cheadle's character up real quick.
But no, I'm talking about Iron Man. They're gonna bring back Iron Man and Captain America.
Oh,
to come back to do a one-off sort of appearance for
like from another do you think from another
timeline? That's what I think. From another timeline.
He took over. Don Cheadle took over the role of James Rhodey Rhodes from Terrence Howard in the 2010 Iron Man 2. Yes, Terrence Howard was talking about, hey mate, pay me some more money, mate, and they said no.
Which. If he would have just shut up, he probably would have made more in the long run from just being in the Marvel
But us
movies.
Howard grads, we can't just let well enough alone. Sometimes we gotta push back, fight the power.
Yeah, and then get your ass replaced by amicable actor Don Cheadle. Look how that works out.
But. Okay, so
did Don Cheadle go to an HBCU?
He didn't.
Or did he learn to shut the fuck up and take that paycheck?
Shut the fuck up and listen to white people.
Yeah, yeah.
But okay, so you're saying that
Hotel Rwanda.
You think that Iron Man and Captain America are gonna come back
because it's setting up like. If the big bad is literally destroying multiverses, it only makes sense that like how do you top Avengers Endgame, where literally every character that has ever been in a Marvel movie shows up to fight this motherfucker? The way to top that is every character plus their alternates from multiple dimensions. Yeah. There's gonna be like 3 or 5. Miles Morales is gonna get involved in this fucking thing. There's gonna be 9 different Iron Mans.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
there's gonna be Captain America and then Black Captain America.
The Falcon.
Yeah. Well, yes, but I also meant like they'll probably get the original Isaiah Washington. Remember
literally when
he was
Isaiah
the original.
Washington,
He was the original
about
Captain
Howard
America.
Grad from that did Grey's Anatomy, who's now a Trump supporter, Isaiah Washington.
Oh no,
that's why I was so confused at first. But I know what you're talking about.
And now I think about it, I think his name might have been Isaiah Maxwell. Either way.
But what you're saying.
Red, white, and black. Look it up real quick, because this is gonna bother me. It's Isaiah.
Oh wait, that's Isaiah Thomas. So what do you think? Maybe his name is Isaiah Washington. No, that's Isaiah Washington.
No, I definitely didn't mean him.
But I just want to make sure we have Isaiah
Bradley. I was close. I knew it was Isaiah.
But so at the end of the movie, after the credits, now if you want to stay for the long 10-minute credits,
it's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it.
It's basically a snippet for Loki 2, because you see Loki and his like partner. What's his name? Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson. Yes.
Is it Luke Wilson?
It is. No, it's oh my god, my brain. Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson. Yes.
Owen Wilson and Loki.
This is what happens when you get into your 30s. Like, you're just like, who is that guy? You know, that guy from that thing. He has that face and that nose.
I always know who I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just that there's so many names in my head that they're just combining together. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to pick out the closest ones and hope that you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so when you see Owen Wilson and Loki's character are at some sort of old-timey event, and they see Kang there.
Yeah.
So my thought after that, because we see then all the Kangs have gathered, I thought that
there's
they're
like,
going to have to have...
blink and miss it, there's like a scroll Kang.
A what?
A scroll Kang. Like from the... Oh, you never saw the Captain Marvel movie, did you?
Oh, I gotta watch that one too.
Yeah, because they introduced the Skrull as an alien race.
I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like a hater, but I honestly do not care about a majority of the white Marvel actors, which is why I told you that outside of the original Avengers,
Yes,
the new ones like Benedict Cumberbatch, his movies to me are they're boring. I like this one because I like Paul Rudd, but the majority of the time his movies are boring.
Funny because I think you like this movie just because Jonathan Majors in it. Otherwise, I think this movie was fine. I think it was a serviceable, middle of the road Marvel movie.
If you took out Jonathan
Majors, it hit like Jonathan elevates the movie into a good movie.
He elevated without
him, it
would have been just like okay.
And let me tell you something. They spent the first act of this fucking movie doing this thing that I absolutely hate, where like they're doing the pronoun game, where basically all they're saying is just like, wait, he's coming. Who is he? Nobody like, I'll explain later. Like, there's not enough time. But there's always enough time. What I hate is that they use this to build suspense, to create this air of mystery around like the big bad or the big villain and everything like that, but it's never justified. Like, it always feels forced.
The thing
when
is,
it's just like they don't even know who he is.
In the beginning of the movie, Ant-Man's daughter, what's her name? Hold on, I have it.
Cassie. Cassie.
Cassie. I think it's Cassie.
No, I think it's Cassie.
It's like Cassie.
Cassie. He was saying Cassie the entire time.
Okay. Well, Cassie, his annoying, obnoxious, know-it-all, I'm big and bad.
Terrible.
Because
Terrible.
I went to a protest and I got a suit and I gotta assuage my white guilt. Daughter, bringing us to the fucking quantum realm when we didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
As daughter.
Yeah. Okay. So
she was fucking up the whole time.
She fucked up the whole movie. It's worse because you know that what they're doing is setting up for her to take the reins. And she'll be the next ant person.
I'm not watching it.
Or the wasp person.
I will not watch it. I will not watch it at all.
They're setting up for like Young Avengers. And
everybody's
gonna have like a young counterpart.
What is it?
Hulk Hogan has Hulk Hogan. The Hulk has his son, and
unless it is an ensemble cast.
Black Panther has little black cub. Yeah.
Oh, I would watch it for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch her. First of all, let me just tell you this. Mm-hmm. It was very much. Oh, hello, Lesser. Did I pronounce that right? I hope so. We're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So if you have not seen it, you should.
Leslie Riggins.
Get out.
Warning.
But I feel like I would watch an ensemble cast of Young Avengers.
Okay.
But I don't.
But they have to be
multi.
They have to be like Planeteers level of
Black, brown. I need to see T'Challa's child. I need to see Namor's child. I need to see other. I don't want to see a bunch of these young white. I'm privileged. Like, okay, this is what pissed me off. Okay, in the beginning of the movie, or so towards the beginning, she's talking about she had gotten arrested. She's in a protest. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And she's talking about, well, nobody cares about these rich kids, these stupid rich kids with trust funds. Baby, your father's Ant-Man. You are one of those kids.
What she doesn't understand, she's basically a Nepo baby.
You should 100%.
There's
that is the definition of a Nepo baby.
In the Marvel universe, there has to be something akin to a Nepo baby when they are the child of a superhero.
No, she's a 100%
somebody who has saved the world. Like everybody,
Nepo baby.
There's montages of everybody knowing like Ant-Man and saying, "Hey, it's him. He's walking down the street. Look at him. Like it's Ant-Man." He has a book out. He saved the world and everything like that. She is the child of somebody who saved the world, and she has this weird chip on her shoulder. Like we should be helping people. I'm like, first off. I helped half of all life come back.
Can I tell you that if
I'm skating off of that for the rest of my life.
Save the world, you better not fix your face to ever
ask me to do a goddamn thing again.
What are you doing? Bitch, I already did it!
What have you done for me lately? It's already
done!
Your stepmama? I brought her ass back. She was dust.
Are you still dust?
She was dust.
All your friends were dust?
There was a bunch of fucking dust of people for 4 years. Was it 4 or 5 years?
I think it was 5 years.
Yeah, for 5 years, and I undid all that.
And the fact that you were going to look at me and act like you protesting one little thing.
I got help from a tree and a raccoon.
You protested. Now, the thing that she was protesting was right. Yeah. Okay? After the blip, which is still a terrible name. After the
my
blip,
God.
Of course.
Why didn't they just call it? I'm so mad that they didn't just call it the dusting.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Why the dusting? It's so easy.
It's right there.
Anything else besides
dusting.
the blip. Like, where are the writers? Let's talk. Because I feel like you guys just missed an opportunity.
No, I feel like that was a placeholder name, and they thought that they would come back.
Whatever.
It's just like in the movie Avatar, where they say that the substance that they're looking for is unobtainium, and I'm like, no, like maybe that was in the first draft, and they figured like, oh, we'll brainstorm some new ideas,
and they never did.
And they never did, and they were like, look, we gotta wrap this up. Like we only
just keep it.
We only have Samuel Jackson for another hour, so it's called the blip now.
So it's like, understandably, we know that the blip has caused so many like civil rights violations because in the civil the Falcon,
Captain America and the Falcon.
American and the Falcon, we learned about it. We know that there's rumblings, there's injustice because people came back from the blip.
Yeah.
Didn't have anywhere to live, homelessness is on a rise, etc., etc., etc. You should 100% fight that, fight for the people and all of that. But if you ever fix your face to tell me, what have you done? Well, you haven't been out. Were you shooting with me in the fucking space?
No.
Were you fighting Thanos and his friends?
Yeah. See, like, I fought an entire army as Giant Man.
Like, what the fuck? Are
charging
you
in there with Captain America, who was holding Thor's hammer. Like, literally into battle.
Do not ever.
What the fuck did you do?
Do not
just sit at home and eat SpaghettiOs?
About what and then having this whole chip on her shoulder because, oh, you weren't here. You missed a lot of days. First of all, your father, before he became an Avenger.
He was trapped in the quantum.
Well, before he was trapped in the quantum realm. In the carceral state that we have.
Yeah.
And he was doing things to try to get money for his family, and we understand that. And he was put in jail a bunch of times.
Yeah.
He missed some things. That wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
And then he was in the fucking blip or whatever. Like, you all these people, every time these privileged people come in a movie, come out talking about, you weren't here for me. But, ma'am, you had everything taken care of for you. You were good.
You had a whole ass mom. And
you had a mom, you had a grandpa, you had a stepmom at that time, sort of, kinda. Yeah. You had enough. You were not out here. There were people who had it worse than you.
You had a support system.
You had a support system, and you were out here just trying to be like, oh my God, I'm wealthy, I'm white, I have all this privilege, but I feel bad about it, so now I'm gonna be mad at my dad because he's supposed to rest. Yeah, the fuck I do want to rest.
Yeah.
I saved the whole fucking planet.
So, real talk, on a character level, she is trash, and it sucks that they're building this franchise around her in order to pass her off. On an acting level, I didn't think she had any chemistry with Paul Rudd or with anybody. The only person
she had chemistry with was
MODOK?
No, the only person she had chemistry
that was the one scene that seemed like believable. Was her being like, you gotta stop being a dick.
The only person she had chemistry with was Gentora, played by Kathy M. O'Brien.
Even that was like...
And that was just, like, we could just tell, like,
passing...
she likes vagine.
Yeah, she wants that, but...
I mean, Gentora was super cute. She was, she was rugged. She had the black eye makeup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was ready to fight. Like, we were like, okay, I was like, I get it.
Yeah, like there's nothing hotter than seeing somebody passionate about what they believe in.
Exactly.
Right?
You know? So I feel like I understood that was the only time I saw her have a spark. But outside of that,
titties. Sorry.
Outside of that,
I thought of something that's hotter than.
Do you want to share with the class?
Yeah, I just did titties.
That was it.
Yeah.
There was no specific ones.
No, just titties.
But like outside of that, I didn't really feel like Paul Rudd to me is a great actor. So I feel like he can pull in anybody. To make it seem like we're family. Like, you know, we've seen him in movies throughout the years.
Right.
But she was okay. And listen, I'm happy that you're young. You're getting your Marvel bag. Keep going. I'm not gonna to shit on you. I hope she does well. Continue growing as an actress. Getting more. But if the only thing that we can talk about is you and MODOK, which... And I will tell you, did you watch the MODOK series?
I watched the MODOK series, yeah.
I tried to watch the MODOK series, but I felt it was boring.
Really? It got better as it went along. Like
I would try it again.
Because that's Patton Oswalt. Like,
and I do like Patton Oswalt.
He's great.
But I just felt like it was boring. But I will say, remember I told you how I didn't watch I didn't read any reviews or watch any videos or anything like that. Yeah. I only saw a smattering of like people talking about the movie.
I saw.
I know you
on Twitter.
saw a lot of. You had seen a lot of them, and that's why I was like, I don't want to read about it.
I was like, prepared myself. Like I was just like, I know what's coming.
But one person had said that they felt like basically that the movie did not take itself serious. And it was just being too silly. And as I was watching it, I'm like, okay, there are things in here that are usual Marvel silly, and then going above that. But I think that one, like, it's Paul Rudd. He's a comedian, or he's a comedic actor. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that they would make this a sillier movie. Mm-hmm. But then when you see like MODOK and then the jelly guy, let me see if does the jelly guy even have a name? I don't even see it here. Was it Veb? Who knows? There were so many weird, interesting characters.
Yeah,
but MODOK definitely, that one takes the cake for shenanigans. Yeah. Because why did you have this big ass man baby floating around with his dangling little feet?
Okay, so for the record, that is MODOK.
It is him
from the comic books. But here's the problem. Like, MODOK is a ridiculous character to try to bring into the real world, into the Marvel Universe. So, if you're going to do it, I thought they would try to do it in such a way that made sense. Technically, it did make sense.
No, it did.
But the problem is the CGI of it all.
I think
it's just a wider face.
They should have never taken on.
Oh, hey, Taylin. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, Tay. Hope you're doing well.
Ain't you?
You know, we're reviewing Quantumania, so if you haven't seen it,
click out. Or watch it and then go
watch it and then watch this, watch that. It doesn't even matter. But it's good to see you.
But I think that...
Hope you're doing well in D-Town.
If they would have continued keeping his mask on, well, he didn't need to take the mask off.
He never needed to take the mask off.
I think they just were trying to do that to be silly. Mm-hmm. And then that's where it got problematic. Because it was just like, you have this big, stretched, wide face. These little dangling feet.
So widely stretched.
And you knew we were going to laugh at it.
It's just a fucking face.
You knew we were going to laugh.
It's just it was as if his face and his chin were just like right here, sitting right here.
And I was just like, it was so silly. And anytime there was, I'm
telling you, you don't gotta see it.
The thing is, listen, I'm not gonna say that I did not.
I think it's fine. I think it's a It's a movie. It's a Marvel movie.
These are the high points.
Here's the high points.
The graphics.
Jonathan Major.
Okay, no. Jonathan Major's number one high point.
As Kang is the high point.
Number 2 is the graphics and the visuals.
The visuals
outside
were...
of MODOK. Outside of MODOK, I thought the visuals
Yeah,
were
I think the visuals of the Quantum Realm were very interesting.
To me, my third would be, it was funny and silly, which I enjoyed.
Hello, Latoya.
Hello, Latoya. It was not rough. It just was like, I think that everybody has to remember that each Marvel movie and franchise has its own personality.
Yeah.
You would, if this was like a Black Panther franchise, you'd be like, what the fuck, what's going on? Because it wouldn't connect. But to me, knowing that it's Ant-Man and the Ant-Man franchise, I expected it to be silly. I expected there to be like, more comedy than in the other ones. Mm-hmm. So I was okay with it.
Yeah.
But I could understand if maybe somebody wants more of that like drama that you're going to get in the usual Marvel movies. Like, okay, spoiler alert, none of the main characters died.
Yeah.
None of the people that like were central to the movie passed away or got hurt really badly. Yeah. And I feel like in most Marvel movies, you're gonna have at least somebody's aunt, cousin, or somebody is gonna take a hit.
I'm just saying, at least in the black ones.
At least in the black ones.
At least in the black ones. In the black ones, we be dying.
We all
left and right.
Because apparently...
Can't have Killmonger come back unless it's in the spiritual realm. Ancestral plane.
But I feel like this movie, it was a very fun, silly movie. Mm-hmm. It also had, like, its important, like, dramatic parts. Yes. But I was not expecting it to be, like, I would not expect Ant-Man to ever, ever, ever be a historic Oscar nomination such as Black Panther 2.
It's a right there middle of the road entertaining movie. Like it's not changing the world. I wouldn't even say it's a quintessential Marvel movie that you have to see in order for the rest of the timeline to make sense.
I think that if you are just like, to me, if you're someone who's new to Marvel and you are just like, oh, I want to know, what do I have to watch? This would not be in my even
This
top
would be
10.
secondary. I would say this, if there's top tier, there's secondary, and then there's tertiary. Where like top tier is you have to watch this in order to make sense. Secondary is you could skip it, but they set up the characterization of Kang a
very
bit
well.
in this.
If you had never watched Loki or anything else, you would totally understand what was happening.
What's happening with Kang?
Because, as I said, I had not watched the second Ant-Man. And even without watching that, I was able to grasp onto all the pieces. I still enjoyed the movie. I
don't even think anything from the second Ant-Man came up in this movie.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask.
Because the villain in that one was Ghost. No, seriously, their name was Ghost. Their powers, they're a ghost.
There are some of the Marvel movies you do not have to like look at all the franchise and make sure you're inundated.
Because that's just too much content to just sit through.
But I will say, I liked this movie more than I liked Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I don't know.
I would say that, like, to me, even though it was more silly, it was more entertaining. Because Multiverse, I was falling asleep. And maybe that's because I'm just like, well, where are all the multiverses? What do we get, a multiverse of pizza balls? Oh, so exciting. That was but Multiverse, to me, had more boring parts where I was like, that's it. I'm okay with this. Versus having parts where I'm like, you know what? This is not adding anything to the story. It's not like giving me character development, but it's fun, it's enjoyable, and I would like to continue on.
I don't know. I just think between the crap chemistry with old girl and that was the other thing. Like you could tell that Paul Rudd is pretty much and Evangeline Lilly. Are pretty used to like working around CGI backgrounds and shit. Everybody else just kind of looks a little bit out of place. Like, basically, everything is a CGI background throughout this fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, some people just, their eyes are going all over the place, and, the action sequences with Michelle Pfeiffer are, she ain't selling it to me.
But
she ain't selling it.
She's been at least two. She and Michael Douglas have now been in 2 or 3 of Marvel movies.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I will say, but you want to know one thing that I did like? I like that Marvel has older people working in action sequences.
Yeah, they have Samuel Jackson for that.
No, but I mean, like, yes, Samuel Jackson, of course, we love him. Our Morehouse
need any other older people.
But I just like that they are having, bye.
Take it easy.
I'm glad that they're having older people in physically active roles and not just being the, like, quintessential, we're cowering in fear and let the young people get it. Because at the end of the day, there are plenty of people's grandpas who will rock you to the next millennium and you will not know until you try them. Because remember when Shannon Sharp was about to fight old boy on the, what's his name?
Well, Shannon Sharp's not that old. What is he, like 51?
Yeah, but usually in Hollywood, anybody who's over, like, the age of 35... they start putting them down as grandparents.
No, that's women. Any women
I forgot.
over the age of
Men
30.
can be older and
strong. Like Liam Neeson's and shit.
It's
like,
true. He is in an action movie.
Keanu Reeves and shit. Like just having John Wicks in 50s and stuff like that.
That's true.
I will say this.
But Michelle Pfeiffer
that's a really good idea is to have a John Wick for women. Like an older action woman.
Imagine like a Sigourney Weaver. Or Angelica Houston. Or what's her name?
Jamie Curtis.
Jamie Curtis. Listen, Angela Bassett.
Yeah, let's have Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett in a fucking thriller-ass franchise where she's kicking ass.
Or Lynn Whitfield.
Also her. We could name a bunch.
Yeah.
That could do it, and they will be moving. And listen, you're going to use...
throw on those Spanx and...
you're going to use stunt
get
doubles
these hands.
Anyway. So let them get in there, look like they're doing it big, and then they get out. But I just appreciated that in this movie that we didn't have the older people sitting around as if they were helpless and not doing anything. What were your...
yeah, it was an Activia commercial of movies.
Did you have any other high points of the movie before we go to the low points?
Oh, I've been getting into the low points.
I know that I want to get to my low points, but I want to know if you have any other good news to share about the movie before.
I will say I liked the expansion of the supporting cast. Mm-hmm. They brought in Cheedy, I forget his name.
Cheedy, yes.
William Jackson Harper. I was close. William Jackson Harper. They brought him in.
He was my other high point.
He was a good highlight.
And then he didn't die.
So
that means we're gonna get more. We could get more from him in the Marvel universe. And I just want to say, being a black actor and getting into the franchise, into the Marvel franchise, even though now it's like third quarter, because, people...
we're in phase 4.
Some people... No, when I say third quarter, I'm not talking about the phases. I mean, comparatively, when you think about Marvel movies when they first came out to now, there are plenty of people who are like, ugh, we're over Marvel. They don't like the silliness.
When you say when Marvel first came out, are you talking about, the first... phase 1, or do you mean way back, no, X-Men, Blade?
No, I'm talking about phase 1, when we got the first Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man,
how
Hulk, Thor, and
those
Captain
movies
America,
had a very particular feel about them and consumer base. But now, and this could be a mixture of misogyny and racism and any other xenophobia, whatever you get, because now people are constantly critiquing Marvel for being too silly or being too diverse or being too XYZ. And they're like, oh, do we need these movies anymore? Personally, I feel like we do, because I love them. I love the Marvel movies. But I am happy to see these black actors getting into the Marvel franchise, because that means regardless of whatever they do for the rest of their life, they will be inside this Disney Marvel franchise, which will allow them to be able to go to do things that it's like working for a FANG company. You work for one.
A FANG company?
Yeah, like Google, Facebook, Amazon. There's a few. It's like FANG. I forgot the. Hold on. I'll tell you the.
Fortune 500. Just call
they're
it
not.
like
No,
a Fortune
because they're
500.
not specifically Fortune 500. They're specifically
FANG?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm
Like, is it an
telling you,
acronym?
It's an acronym. I'm telling you right now. A FANG companies are Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. They're among the best performing technology and most well-known companies in the world. And currently, as of January 11th, 2023, the combined market value of FANG companies exceeds $3 trillion.
Hey there. I cannot pronounce any of that. So
Took the best. They're gone. So it doesn't matter.
okay.
But just like if you think about it, if you get a good job on your resume, you can take that and you can go and do other things. So I was very excited. I'm glad for Jonathan Majors. Love him.
And once you're in, you're in.
You're
like
in.
They might use you for like a Wanda miniseries,
in
like
20
Randall Park.
years from now.
Or you could just be in a blink and you'll miss it. Like, hey, I was in Ant-Man Quantumania, like Randall Park was. He was in the very beginning,
Yes.
at like the table, just doing a little card trick and shit.
In 20 years from now,
Nobody
we might see William
had
Jackson
no lines.
Harper headlining a Marvel movie. We don't know. We have no clue. But he's in the franchise, and I was happy to see that because I really enjoy him as an actor. And even
He's got comedic chops,
I
I'll
love
give
The
him
Good
that.
Place, but even outside of The Good Place, he has been doing a really great job. There's this one show I want to watch about him on HBO. I think it's called.
Can't. I think they took it off. Love Story.
Why is HBO? And if HBO, listen up. If you freaking take South Side off of the freaking app,
Oh, you know it's coming.
I am going to be pissed off.
I was raised on Southside.
R.I.P. Southside, such a great show. I hope that you get picked up by another streaming service because you really did what it had to be done. And I'm really upset that they're not going to at least let you get one last season because you were doing it. But anyway, yes. So my last high point really was William Harper Jackson.
Okay.
Now let's get to the low points.
Okay.
Number one, the fucking ants. Big low point. The fucking ants. And you want to know what it was? Before we even got to the ants, it was, and there's a scene where
They set it up. Chekhov's ants.
Listen,
You
I knew
they
the
were
ants
coming.
were coming because we saw them in the beginning.
You saw them in the beginning.
I saw them, so I was prepared.
They were, and he was like proud of it. He was like, "Yo,
These are my ants.
these are my ants, and they're creating an entire society and stuff, and
This was
they're
the
really smart. They got really smart ants."
first portion that pissed me off was Paul Rudd's character is in he has to retrieve a battery, but because the battery has exploded, it has created some sort of temporal distortion.
Yeah.
I guess. And so in it, it's like he's now in a world of probabilities. So even though it's just him, he's like multiplying a bunch.
Yeah, he's splitting into it's literally the second season intro episode of Rick and Morty.
Yes, exactly.
Where, like, he keeps fracturing into different probabilities based on things that he might do and might react to.
You asked us in the movie if it was about that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were watching that. And
I was just like, this is literally Rick and Morty.
But in that scene, instead of it being a bunch of ants swarming, it was a bunch of mini Paul Rudds.
Yeah.
Which was equally as gross, because as I said, I don't like swarms. So number one, that was the gross part. Number two, the fucking ants being super smart and technological. I don't need us to have smart ants. Now, what happens when those ants come back
Odie,
from the quantum realm?
It's Ant-Man. Like,
no.
You know there's going to be ants.
But that is why I have kept
X-Men
from watching
means
them.
you're going to see mutant men. Spider-Man. There's at least one spider.
Listen, in Spider-Man, you get maybe one spider.
Yeah,
maybe
you
two.
get one spider.
You don't get swarms of spiders. You're not seeing a whole spider have
Batman,
a whole sack.
you're probably gonna get some shots of some bats.
Yes, but this was just too much. Anytime it was too many ants. It was gross. I didn't like it.
Catwoman, you'll see some cats.
I did not like it. That's it. That's for me.
Okay.
And then also the whole like white savior, white guilt propaganda of like, even if it's not happening to you, it doesn't mean you can't do anything about it. Well, ma'am, y'all people have had 500 years almost of not doing anything unless it benefited you. So I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the sincerity.
Yeah.
And I don't believe you, this rich trust fund kid, who just literally...
I don't know. Okay, in her defense, I don't know if she's rich.
She's wealthy enough to have a whole house and food when others are literally starving.
Okay, yes, you're... Okay.
There was a whole blip, and she has a house, a car. They ordered pizza.
Well, first off, we don't know that.
They ordered takeout.
We don't know that she has a car. We know that Scott
she has enough money where if she gets arrested, her parents could just bail her out.
All right, that's still not necessarily
I've never been
rich.
arrested. I've never been arrested, but I will tell you, go ask Coles, Mr. Susan, if they bailing me out of jail.
Okay, Scott's probably getting some money from the book deal that he's getting.
The book deal, the Avenger, he's got money.
Okay,
he's not wealthy.
The Avengers aren't giving him a salary for saving the
made
world. I'm just saying that, like,
she got money. She got some money.
I don't know if she has money. Like, her mom is probably just like a working mom. You know what I mean? Like, if she's living, yeah.
Even if he...
Hooray, her stepmom, Hope Van Dyes,
her stepmom has a fucking Fortune 500 company.
Okay, fine.
There's nothing you can tell me to say that this is not just one of Trump's kids who's rebelling. And the only reason why she is not an evil villain is because her father was Ant-Man, and because she has some sort of righteous indignation about him, and then she grew up with her grandpa, who was also, like... Either way, you can keep it. I don't believe it. I don't care about her. I really, she could have died in this movie, and I would not have cared. I would have said, okay, great. Ant-Man and Hope
it's not that good.
Now create a new baby that's hopefully better.
Jesus. Okay, like, that's fucking harsh as hell. I just meant that, like, she didn't have chemistry and she might not be that good of an actress.
She was better as a baby. Whoever her child actress was, they should have brought her back.
I didn't want her to necessarily die. I just think she was a bad character.
I didn't want her to die, but just saying if she did die, I would have just been like,
jeez.
You know, people die every day, B.
She's a teenager.
I don't want to. She's not. She's like 19 years old. She's like
that's still a teenager.
No, she's a teenager, but she's like 19, 20. She knows enough to like make choices.
I don't know. She's 20.
I think she's like a teenager. Like
I think she's
school?
like maybe 17, 18.
I think she's.
Because why are they celebrating her birthday? He's like, I missed a bunch of birthdays.
Because he's a dad who just trying to make it. His damn annoying ass daughter is trying to make him feel bad for every little thing he's done, even though he saved the whole fucking planet. And she was like, well, big deal. First of all, that alone is getting you kicked out. Like, get the fuck out of my house.
I think some of this is like hitting close to home.
It's not. I'm not a superhero.
I know. Okay. Yes, because that's the only way that you could possibly relate to a story like this is if you fucking controlled ants and shot lasers out of your fucking sphincter. You're absolutely right. There's no way that there's allegories and metaphors and similes and shit running up in all these goddamn stories. X-Men, there's no way that X-Men are niggas, like are civil rights black people allegory stand-ins or whatever you want to call it, you know? Oh my god, we're being persecuted. There's no way because you don't have a fucking adamantium fucking claws and can control the weather.
Either way, I feel like she was just not. I didn't love her character. I didn't really feel like she added much, but I did like. Super. I feel like Hank or Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer. They did a pretty good job. They're great actors and actresses. Like I wasn't expecting them to do anything terrible.
They're serviceable.
Yeah, like I'm sure Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly will continue on. If they have an Ant-Man 4, depending on how well this.
No, I don't think they need to have an Ant-Man 4.
They definitely don't need to, but will they?
I don't know how many. I don't know what the contracts are looking like for Paul Rudd and Evangeline, but
listen, he is going to milk this until he cannot anymore.
I just don't think we need another
Do we
Ant-Man.
need one? No. But you're gonna milk it. Cause why the fuck not? They're paying you Marvel money.
Maybe he could retire and
he's gonna continue to go. He's gonna continue to go until he can't go no more.
Yeah.
Alright, so
how would you rate this movie?
How many Snerds?
We're doing this out of 10.
1 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I will give this.
I'm telling you now, I'm giving it a 6.
I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 Snerds.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a 6.5.
This is because of Jonathan Majors,
mm-hmm.
William Jackson Harper,
mm-hmm.
And maybe Jatora. I don't know. Everybody else was just okay. I feel like those people bolstered the movie up for me. And then I think that I did enjoy the comedy and the silliness. The visuals were gorgeous. Like, they did a good job in the things that, like, matter but don't matter. So I feel like they did a good job for that. It was a good setup for whatever we get next from Marvel, whether it's the TV show for Loki. I really do hope Kang gets a movie, because I think that would be really good for him. But, we'll see. What about you?
I'm giving this a 6. I just think this was a okay movie to go see. Yes, Jonathan Majors elevated the movie as the villain and the antagonist, but I think the story itself is kind of okay.
Yeah.
Like the feelings behind, like the arcs of like the characters are just fine.
If anyone died in this movie, I would not have felt sad.
Yeah, exactly. Like I even if Ant-Man had died in the movie, I wouldn't have felt sad, because I'm like, what is his arc? Is his arc just like being a slightly better dad? Like,
well, you know what? Shout out to the cameos. Bill Murray was in this movie
too.
I won't tell you what happens to him, but he's in it.
Yeah,
and he was funny in it.
Yeah,
his little portion.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, when we were watching the movie and Bill Murray's part came out, I like how they're able to have these complex comedic villains, like Bill Murray having this villainous arc, but then him shifting to the other side. It always feels like this. It's fun. It doesn't feel forced. It was very good, and I feel like they do a good job of that, of having these like double agents that you don't realize are double agents until they tell you.
Right. I see what you're saying. I was confused for a little bit. Yeah. Just the reveal of their true motivations.
Yes.
Yeah. I did enjoy the complexity of Bill Murray's character. Like, even though it was a short like couple scenes and stuff. He nailed it. Did a good job. But yeah, even with that being said, I'm still just giving it a 6.
Listen, that's fine. Jonathan Majors really made the movie.
It's fine. Yeah, it's a fine movie.
I thought we weren't gonna get Jonathan Majors until towards the end, but he was the first. Like he was in the first scene, really, of the movie, right?
No, yeah, he was in the first scene, but then
it goes into the rest of them. But like we didn't initially. I thought we were.
They play the fucking pronoun game of just like who's he? Who is he? You know.
Initially, I thought it was just gonna be one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, we're running from this man. We never see him. Like how you talk about Shere Khan. I thought that's what we were gonna get with Jonathan Majors, but we actually
got him like this movie because like the fucking villain doesn't show up until like the entire second act.
He shows up, and when he show up, and we have a long portion. We had at least an hour. The movie was 2 hours. We had about an hour and a half of Jonathan Majors.
I say we have like an hour.
An hour 50.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe.
All right. Because you had to have the little subplots in there.
Yeah.
Would you watch this again on Disney Plus?
I would yeah, you know what? I would say this. I would wait for it to get on Disney Plus to watch it.
Okay.
I would not have gone to see it in the theater.
Well, that is a good thank you for your review.
Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all watch it. Let us know what you think, and you don't have to agree with us. If you loved it, that we want to know that you loved it because
let me know why.
All different perspectives,
and without judgment, obviously.
Without judgment, all different perspectives are important. And maybe you got something that we missed, and then we can watch it on Disney Plus again and be like, you know what, I like that. But I will say, still 7 out of 10 Snerds. Did I like watching it in the movie theater? Yes, because I like having the full screen and all that. Do you need to watch it in the movie theater?
No.
I would say no.
No.
This is not like a Black Panther, like where it's like, oh, it's so great in the theaters. But yeah, I feel like it was just like okay, that was cool. And maybe because I'm also so used to so many of the Black Panther movies I'm used to the Marvel movies having more color in them because of the Black Panther franchise. And this was just lacking outside of Jonathan Majors and William Jackson Harper and all that. But yeah, you know, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. Not great, not phenomenal. It was good. It's not winning any Oscars.
It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's okay.
So, take that what you will.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Send us an email, an Instagram message, a DM, or something like that. A comment. And yeah. We will see you this weekend when we do our weekly roundup of shenanigans in the news, and we'll have more to talk about.
Yes. Until then, definitely follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to our podcast, like and rate us, and send us some messages and everything, and do all of the things. Until next time, take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snerdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snerdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snerdy Podcast, where Snerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.